Ne laisse pas ton odeur imprégner mes draps. Et si tu m'abandonnes, je suis pas celle que tu crois. Aucun cabron ne m'a touché. À part toi, caballero, non, personne ne m'a touché.
So I wanted to pop on real quick before the video starts and say, unfortunately, I didn't adjust the decibels on the microphones correctly, so it's a little bit scratchy throughout. I did as much as I could to fix it, but it's not perfect. With that being said, an amazing interview with David. Definitely can't wait for you guys to check it out. So here it is. So we're here with David. We are in his new 296. Want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's my first brand new Ferrari, so I'm obviously super pumped. I've been rather spoiled lately, a little bit numb to the fact I've had close to 30 cars in 2 years, and 4 within the last month, which wasn't expected or planned. But this is definitely the latest and greatest. And up until I drove it the last 2 days, I had to say my GT3 RS was my favourite car. But quite honestly, the more I drive this, it's now my new favourite. So,
man, it's got some. It's so
smooth. It's very smooth, and we may or may not be slightly exceeding the speed limit, but it doesn't feel like it because
I've got it right in front of me. It looks like we're going 45 to me.
Yeah, we're about 45.
Yeah.
Actually picked it up, and with about 70 miles on the odometer, I'm at 150 now. So it's really a new baby to me, but I feel at home in it really quickly. It's very intuitive to drive. It's super predictable. It's kind of crazy to say. It's almost like a luxury car that's a supercar too, or borderline hypercar when it comes to performance. And the buckets in here are American buckets, so they're built for the larger guy, which I can appreciate now. But yeah, I mean, it's just super easy to drive, super nimble. Coming most recently from driving the latest supercar was the GT3 RS 992. I'd say it performs obviously a heck of a lot faster, but almost as nimble.
And like you said, the nimble. I mean, we're going through this little road here, back road here. Let's call it in Mexico. And the car's just planted. The acceleration's extremely impressive.
Yeah, and exhaust doesn't sound too bad too from that little V6
No.
As well. So it's got the V6 twin turbo. And the birds are not getting out of the way quick enough. I don't think they judge my speed. But yeah, little V6 twin turbo. But what makes it really pop and bang is the hybrid. So the hybrid system, I think it carries around 200 and something horsepower, but it's certainly combined horsepower now of 820 horsepower, I believe, making it, I think, virtually the fastest Ferrari production one to date. Very close to the SF90, if not faster.
Yeah. You had talked about it a little bit. You've got the GT3 RS. Mm-hmm. You've got this. You've got a couple Corvettes. What got you into cars?
I think I've been an early addict. I think my earliest memories as a baby being carried by my mum or grandmother back in England, being carried into the toy store, getting a new Matchbox toy, American English version of Hot Wheels, probably chewing the tires off before I got out of the shop. But I was always a car addict, and definitely blame my dad. So my dad was still is a car addict, Formula One addict, and so yeah, I can blame my dad or thank my dad for the car addiction. So I've always been a car addict. I'd literally go through the Auto Trader equivalent every week and circle the cars on every page that I prefer or wanted. I do the same with houses, actually, Tyler.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. So the cars I wanted and the houses I wanted, and I've been quite blessed to have most of the cars I've wanted on the on the sports car level for sure. A few supercars, still got more I want to try, but I feel like living in Scottsdale, I'm being conservative because I'm not driving a hypercar. So
I am just shocked every single time because I don't think I can remember a time when you had from show to show the same lineup of cars. You always are changing them out, always getting something new. Is there a reason for that? You get bored?
I think I've been on a dating spree, and a silver lining to a divorce. Divorces are never fun. They're always messy and emotionally damaging and toughest on the kid. But my retail therapy was in buying new cars, and I think I've done my retail therapy now. But I think like I've continued it now for a few years, and I think I started my dating spree on having. I think I ordered 8 cars within the first few months of divorce, and knowing that cars like this, which was one of my early orders, would take 2+ years to arrive.
Yeah.
So I built this car probably 2.5 years ago. So I've been like in pregnancy for that long. So other cars I've bought along the way have been opportunistic, like the GT3 RS. Yep. I'd actually given up on getting one, but I found an opportunity that was financially not too crippling, and actually ended up buying one there. But I've taken, as I said, I've been in a position where I've been able to buy some cancelled orders, and obviously in this market, in the economy, it's a little bit strange. So.
So for this one, this wasn't a cancelled order, was it?
No, this was my own build.
Okay.
I've done some of the Corvettes. I've had 2 Corvettes my own build, but for the most, and Lotus Emira was my own build. But I'd say most of the cars I've had have been pre-builds that I bought from the dealership off the floor.
Yeah.
Pretty much impulse. And it's fun, Ty, as you know, to bring new cars to the show, to have the first one. So it's been important to me, not in a boastful, greedy way, but to kind of like bring hot cars that maybe kids or people haven't seen before to the shows, and be the first one to do that and show them off and drive them and take. As I said, I've had a lot of photographers, as you know, and seen come out and take pictures of the cars and really get them into photography. There's been some people that I know that have started off with taking pictures and now making a full-time career out of it, which is great. And congrats to them.
And that's what I think is really cool. I mean, a little backstory on how we met David. We actually shot him a DM through our social media, through Instagram. You had originally brought out the GR Corolla, which is another favorite of yours, to the show. And then we've just stayed in touch. But you've always, every time I follow what you're posting on Instagram, it's something new from a new photographer, and it could be a photographer with 50, 100 followers, which I think is super cool that you're supporting young guys with their passion.
A lot of students, and funny you mentioned the Corolla. I remember another interview I had. I was with the MC20, and they asked me what my favorite car was, and I think I had the Altura and the MC20 at the time. Probably had a Porsche too, but I said my favorite at the time was my GR Corolla. And I think at the time that was my second GR Corolla, but now I'm actually on my 3rd GR Corolla. So it's not just, to me, it's not just the car that I love. I want to get to the ultimate spec and trim. So to me, it's down to, I want to make sure the build's exactly the way I want it. So, I might be crazy, but I've had on my 3rd GR Corolla. I think I had the first one, certainly the first few, one of the first 5 maybe in Arizona.
It's definitely the first one.
I had the first McLaren Altura in Arizona, had an early MC20.
Obviously, it takes a lot to get into these cars like this, whether it be investments you make or work that you do. Mm-hmm. What is it that you did to get these cars?
Probably bad financial decisions. Why I'm spending the money on supercars, but really fun. I mean, in terms of miles per mile, and yes, I could put my money in much safer investments, and I would not call a new car an investment. Yep. I know some people make money buying and selling cars. That's not me. I wish I could say it was. I know better. There's probably a few I could buy and sell and make money, but to me it's been more about the enjoyment of having these different cars, owning them, curating them for a little while, and passing them on. But really, as I said, I've just been consistency. Consistency works. So I think you work hard the first half of your life, and then you can enjoy the second half. So I feel like I've done that to a large degree. I still work. I've no vision of retiring anytime soon. Personally, I've been in sales, software sales, for about 30 years now. So consultative software, mostly in automotive, but basically in power sports, marine, anything with an engine or wheels. We help dealerships sell more stuff.
Interesting.
I've worked for several businesses doing a similar line of work, and it's enjoyable. It's I like power sports. I like cars. So for me, it's very important for me to enjoy what I do at work, and I recommend that to anyone. If you can make money doing a passion, if you're into sports or something, great. Yeah. In fact, we met a guy at PABS. I don't know if you met him, Gentry. He's a world yo-yo champion.
Is he really?
And he makes money now selling yo-yos. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like, so cool that he's making money from his passion.
Exactly.
And he's driving a Lotus Emira at a very young age. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Was that the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one we saw there.
Way.
So I love it when I hear success stories, and Yeah, I'm a member of Phoenix Driven. I'm very happy to be a member, and I love the fact that virtually all the members are entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And a lot of younger, much younger than me, people there, success stories. They're driving. You have to have a supercar to be a member. So it's great to me to be around so many talented individuals. Now hopefully I'm definitely older, maybe a little bit wiser. I can pass on some wisdom, but as I said, investing early. Quite frankly, I've not made money in cars, as you can probably tell. I've spent a lot of money, but real estate's been good to me. I know Tyler's in real estate, so I'm not just saying that because of that, but I always say you can make money in real estate, then you can spend it on toys in that respect if you need to, or keep doing real estate. So I'm a firm believer in making big money in real estate, and maybe it's because I come from an island, England, where the land is pretty limited, but typically the values in England have gone up consistently every year. And I'd say it's basically living for free or making money owning a house, especially in this market in Scottsdale. So it's been certainly when I first moved here in Paradise Valley, we made a significant amount of profit on the first house.
When did you move here to Paradise Valley, Arizona?
Approximately 4 years ago.
Okay, so you moved quite recently.
Quite recently, start of COVID, fairly early COVID, moved from Michigan, Bloomfield Hills. And quite a dramatic price increase to buy a house in Paradise Valley after Michigan, even though it was the nicest part of Michigan. But definitely a good investment it turned out to be. Although we made money on the house, since then it's gone up significantly in value to almost priced. Average person definitely priced out Paradise Valley now.
I mean, the starting price for anybody looking, you're probably going to be around $1,000 a square foot minimum. So
or $2 million for dirt, which is kind of crazy. $2 million for dirt is a good starting point if you want to. But they're acre parcels typically. So when I've moved out after I got divorced and I moved out I rented for a while. I didn't know where I wanted to live. Tried Old Town. That was fun, but not sustainable. These bunnies are trying to kill themselves today. Literally, I've got bunny rabbits running out in front of me, testing my brakes.
And I can tell you, the Ferrari is doing great.
the ceramics, I love carbon ceramics.
Yeah.
So after Paradise Valley sale, I spent about a month living in Marriott hotels in Old Town. It was fun, but not really sustainable. And ended up moving to Kierland area, doing Airbnb and turning that into a longer term rental.
Exactly.
And then when I wanted to buy a house, my criteria for the realtor at the time, which Tyler probably would have loved, was a garage with a house attached. I want a large garage with a house attached. The only criteria for the house was it needed to have tall ceilings and at least 3 bedrooms. So we achieved that, but I had to move further out.
As long as the garage spaces outnumber the bedrooms, it's good.
The garage space is definitely outnumbered. I've got room for 5 cars if I squeeze a little bit, which is nice inside, and a driveway could fit 15 cars, I'm sure, if I needed to or more. Yeah. So plenty of space there, and it's in a growing area as well. So I'm looking forward to some nice profit potential from that house, and hopefully maybe consider some rental houses in the near future, just because again it's such a growth market here, and I think that can help fund my toys hopefully.
So you picked out that house up how long ago?
I think it's about 2.5, just over 2 years ago now.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5, 3.
Yeah, so you've really been able to
probably gone, I think it's probably increased like 30%, 20-30%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a testament to real estate and investment in general. I think investments, and I want your take on it because obviously you're a lot more wise, but investments are meant to fuel your lifestyle. They aren't meant to kind of take over your lifestyle. What are your thoughts on that?
100% agree, and now I kick myself that I should have put my money all into real estate in Paradise Valley and stayed there, because I think prices there have doubled probably in the period that mine's gone up 20-30%.
Yeah,
I'm sure in PV probably doubled. So I mean, don't do what I do, kids, at a young age. Don't put your money in cars. I think, again, maybe enjoy it when you're later on, and maybe you're more willing to take risks. So a single man now, I feel myself taking more risks and kind of doing, having fun, quite frankly. Can't take it with you. I'll make sure my son's set up. He's only 9 years old now, so I'll make sure he's fine. And let's kick the engine back on without having fun. It's like,
we're at 55.
I'm not necessarily a fan of E-mode for long periods. It's just kind of a cool factor. I don't mind burning fossil fuels and paying for gas. It's still a lot cheaper gas here than in England, I can assure you.
Yeah, because you're spending, what, $8 to $10 a gallon?
In England, at least $8-10 a gallon. Of course, they make it sound better because they sell it in liters.
Yep, exactly.
Trust me, you're paying a lot more money.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about transition from England here. When did you move over?
I moved over in '98.
Okay.
I'd say permanently in '98, and became a citizen around early 2000s. Just you get more bang for the buck. I think it sounds a little bit strange, but definitely at the time, at least, there was a lot. Everything was half the price. So I was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah.
Everything I want's half price here than where I lived in just outside London in England. So it was a lot of fun. I think the accent didn't hurt, being in sales and everything, and dating, etc. So just had a lot of fun here. Made good friends. Enjoyed. I was mostly in Michigan working automotive, but I travelled. Most of the time I was on the road traveling, so I have seen most of the US states and major cities, which I've loved that experience. Still enjoy traveling. I was a million miler in my 20s, if that tells you anything with Delta.
Oh, were you really?
It was Northwest back then, but yeah.
Exactly.
I did a lot of flying, and I've always loved travel. I mean, one thing I recommend is definitely enjoy work-life balance, and it's worth stretching yourself a little bit for vacations. I think one of the disadvantages moving from Europe to America is lack of vacation. Yep. So in England, you get at least 4 weeks paid vacation. America's typically 0 to 2 weeks.
And it's encouraged there too.
It's encouraged in Europe to take your vacation. Here it's almost frowned upon / you might miss out on something.
Exactly.
So I would take my 2-3 European vacations. I would go out of the country consistently every year while I was there. But in America, as I said, it's tough for me to take a week off without checking it. You can't escape email electronics now. So I would say it's rare for me to have a weekday, even on vacation, without interacting with work a little bit. Try and mix in some work play. Like if I'm doing a car rally or drive, I'll combine a little bit of vacation time with checking my emails, etc., and doing some work.
And you had touched on this actually earlier, but you work for somebody, and you aren't necessarily working for yourself.
Right.
Why did you go that route? And what would you say to somebody who's kind of stuck between the two of them?
I've tried my own business, not by myself, but with friends before when I've done startups, but honestly, less stress. I think the number one thing is just less stress. I think I've always worked for companies that paid pretty well, I'd say in general, enough to make me I'm not going hungry, and clearly I've been able to make enough to buy some toys.
Of course.
So I think it's just a risk, it's pretty much de-risking life working for someone. And I know I've had the potential to have many opportunities, and I still get some to invest in businesses or to do my own thing, but I've also enjoyed working as part of a team. So I think the big difference is, it's riskier doing your own thing. Yeah. I applaud entrepreneurs, but I haven't taken that level of risk, and I've been okay. But honestly, if you can make money doing what you love, and if you do it for yourself and not working for the man, go for it. I think that's a great thing. But I've been successful at working for others, and focusing on my sales targets every year. And in sales, you always your quota. If you don't, then what the hell are you doing in sales? But your quota. You can figure out quite quickly how to get paid, how you're paid, and then how to maximize it. It's simple math. So if you want your commission mostly based,
yes, 100% commission.
So and I've made most of my money on commission, not my base salary.
Exactly.
Base salary is usually there just to kind of keep things ticking, but it's not there to get you by any means get you any luxuries. If you want any luxuries in life, work hard and get commissions, or whatever, it's commission for your own business or someone else's.
The best way is something like you said. I have a target. My target personally, selling a house. If I sell a house, I make money. If I don't sell a house, I don't make money. Similar to you, if you sell this product. Now, we're very similar, but I like getting a different perspective, because most of the people we have on the interviews, they are self-employed. Yeah. But I genuinely don't think everybody should be self-employed.
I think we have the capability, but do we want the stress? I have some grey hair, but that's mostly age, and my hair hasn't fallen out. I think because of having less stress in life of working for someone. Yeah. And I've tried a startup, which I was part owner, and that was risky, and I didn't make the money I expected. So there's not always. A lot of businesses do fail, but there's a lot that succeed. Those that succeed, it's fantastic, and I applaud them. But you're right. I think it's not for everyone, and I'm happy I'm part of a business I respect. Now, It's important to respect who you work for. I would say not just who you work with and who you work for. So I've been fortunate, and I think everyone should try and work for a company they respect and enjoy, and people they enjoy working with. As I said, there's nothing worse to me than getting up in the morning and dreading to go to work.
Exactly.
I like to get up in the morning, maybe take a little walk, or collect my thoughts and focus on what I'm going to do each day. And if I can get most of my stuff done in the morning,
Yep.
I can chill a bit in the afternoon.
If you could give one piece of advice to the younger guys, we've talked about the younger photographers, maybe the people who are looking to get into these cars, or somebody who's lost, what would that piece of advice be?
I'd say work ethic is, people respect hard working.
Yeah.
Whether it's someone who's pulling weeds, cleaning the car. I mean, I see a lot of entrepreneurs now with the carpet cleaning.
Yep.
Whether it's paint protection, film, all these businesses. I would say work ethic is the most important thing, and deliver on promises. So I think to anyone, I respect people the most that follow through, have a hard work ethic. And I'm not saying you have to work hard and sweat every day, but work smart.
Exactly.
And have a good work ethic. And it doesn't hurt to be polite. I mean, don't take anything for granted. Work hard, play hard, enjoy life. And again, try and make your money the first half of life, but please do invest more than I did the first half of your life. Try and put away a little every month into a mutual fund. You will thank me next half of your life.
Amazing. Well, I think that's a great note to end on. I really appreciate it, David. It's been, here we go. Good way to cap out the video.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you on the